This week on Outdoor Oklahoma, it's all about the next generation of Oklahoma hunters. We'll tag along with a father-son duo as they chase deer and turkeys. Plus, we'll get some tips on hunting with kids.
Right now on Outdoor Oklahoma.
From the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation, Outdoor Oklahoma. Well, hello and welcome to Outdoor Oklahoma. I'm Todd Craighead, and today I have the unique privilege of getting to sit inside, I guess you'd call it the trophy room of my good friend Alan Stie. Thanks for joining me, Alan.
Thanks for being here.
You know, Alan has been involved in the turkey hunting industry for many years, as you can tell by this room. And you've taken the sport of hunting to every level imaginable, I think, whether that be your personal endeavors or competition calling. You've even worked in the industry too. Tell me something about that.
Well, I've worked in the retail environments here locally in Tulsa. I've been a pro staff member for several different organizations here locally and nationally. I've had the pleasure of doing wild turkey hunting seminars across our great nation in different venues, different sportsman shows, and I just love what I do, man.
You bet. Well, it's easy to tell by looking at this room that Alan is probably more than obsessed with turkey hunting.
Absolutely.
You know, and when somebody is at this level of an activity like turkey hunting for you, you've probably had many opportunities to take kids out hunting as well. And kind of pass that on.
I have, and I tell you, I've worked with Darren Unruh down in Okmulgee County, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and we've done some federal hunts down there. But the greatest thing is when the state of Oklahoma had these youth hunting seasons that sprang up. These are wonderful. I would give every hunting season I've ever had in any state to relive the youth turkey hunting seasons that I just finished up with my son.
Really?
I mean, I tell you, the youth turkey hunts, way to go, Oklahoma.
Well, I probably feel the same way. I've had the privilege of being in many blinds and sitting in front of a lot of trees with kids, and there's nothing like that. And today we're going to be talking about those types of opportunities to hunt with kids in Oklahoma. I grew up with a gentleman and graduated high school with a friend named Robert Wood. And years go by and we kind of lose track of each other. Well, a few years ago, I ran back into Robert and coincidentally at a youth hunt at Sequoia State Park. But anyway, Robert has a young son named Trey that's, well, he's 7 now. At the time I met him, he was 6. And I tell you, it's hard to find a young man that's more enthusiastic about hunting than Trey would. Today we're going to be following along with Robert and his son Trey as they first go on a deer hunt, and I'll let you in on a secret. Trey gets his first deer. And then we'll also go on a turkey hunt with Trey and Robert. And we'll also get a few of those inside secrets from Alan about tips he's learned on hunting with kids.
Absolutely.
Attaboy. Good hard throw. Attaboy, good catch. Trey has been going with me since he was just big enough to walk. I can still remember his first hunting trip. And you know, with him, I teach him it's about the experience. You know, it's not about the kill. I want him to be able to enjoy the outdoors. I want him to respect the outdoors. I want him to respect those creatures, those things that we take for granted. Those crisp November mornings, that bright sunrise, the turkeys gobbling at daylight, those beautiful things. and I teach him God has put those things there for us to enjoy. I've had a few parents say something to me about Trey being too young to be hunting.
How old are you?
16.
Last fall, early last fall, last August, he took his went and took his hunter education course. 136 people. He made 100% on that test at 6 years old at that time. Trey has his sports. He has his baseball. He has his football. He also loves the outdoors. With hunting, everybody's a player. There is no one person that sits on the bench. Hey, everybody is a starter. I mean, everybody.
Hey, that was good. You
I set up a ground blind for Trey to hunt in, and ground blinds, those things are so neat for kids to hunt in. It gives them, the opportunity that, yes, they need to be patient, but in the ground blind, they can move around a little bit. If they want to bring a video game, if they want to bring goodies, there is some flexibility, with movement, and those ground blinds are just a neat thing.
Last evening of the youth hunt of youth season, all right? We're gonna sit here till dark.
Yes.
Something's gonna come in, you're gonna get a shot. We're gonna have one down by dark, right? Right there, baby. All right.
We hadn't been there an hour, here came some does. Came in there, fed in a little acorn flat there, a few acorns on the ground. Never were presented with an opportunity, for a harvest. The next morning, Trey had a football game. He had not had the obligation, or had an obligation to play with his team, and he wanted to play football, and I wanted to play football. And so we went and played football. Came back that afternoon, set up and hunted all afternoon. I think we got in our ground blind, about 1 or 2 o'clock that afternoon. Just a little bit before dark, here came some does, and they were just standing around again in this little acorn flat. And Trey made a really nice shot on a doe at about 65 yards.
He punched that shot. Good shot. Is that cool? You want to take those off?
That was so awesome.
Is that awesome, buddy? Huh? Is that awesome? Huh? Was that cool? Is your heart beating fast? Huh? You okay? Huh?
That was so cool.
Is that awesome?
I was getting the way I was aiming at it. I thought you was going to drop it.
Yes. Would you have the crosshairs at?
Right here.
Good. Is that awesome? Yeah, baby.
That was one of the coolest things that I had ever seen. I was so proud. I was on cloud 9. He had worked so hard, shooting his rifle, doing his homework, scouting deer, practicing with that rifle, and to see him harvest that animal with one shot, I see that in my mind over and over again. Parents, if you've never experienced that before, it's awesome. It's just an awesome, there's just no words to describe what a awesome feeling that is. To see that look, to see that look in that child's eyes. If somebody wants to tell me he's too young, I just tell them, hey, you know what? He's my child. He's getting one of the best experiences, experiencing the outdoors. He's getting to go hunting. He's getting to go fishing. And, you know, I want to turn around and ask them, what are you doing with your kid?
Well, you know, there's probably no more special experience that you remember forever than your first deer or your first turkey. I'm sure you remember yours, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know, what I think is special is that I was there when Trey, you know, harvested that first deer, and yet I'll always be associated with that first deer in his mind. As long as he lives, he'll remember who was there, and so that makes it special for me too.
Memories, it's critical. It's
You
what it's
bet.
all about.
Now tell me, you know, Trey was wearing some earmuffs when he took the shot, and that's, you know, we've talked about this before. That's one of the biggest hang-ups or hurdles you have to get over with a kid is the muzzle blast, and you've got an interesting take on that too.
Yeah, with the muzzle blast, what you want to keep in mind with kids is their hearing's very sensitive at a young age. So with the muzzle blast, what I found is I didn't do the cup headsets, or I didn't do the earplugs, because a lot of times they don't fit a child just right, or they're too big. So the best thing to do is just get a cotton ball, take the cotton ball, split it in half, and I can take half of this, and stick it in their ear. And the great thing about this is, an adult, you need to be able to communicate to your youth hunter in the field and while you practice at the range. If you can't hear what I'm saying and we can't communicate effectively, then our chances of being successful diminishes. So the cotton balls are great to have. They're reusable. If you lose them, you hadn't lost much. But again, how we practice is how we play, Todd.
Sure. Well, that's a great tip. And we're going to catch up with Alan and get some more tips for hunting with kids right after this week's Outdoor News Report.
I'm district captain of the 4th District, and the district lies in the central part of the state within the cross timbers. And the northernmost county is the Creek, and southernmost that joins Texas are Bryan and Marshall. We have several wildlife management areas in the district, and all of which have excellent hunting opportunities for sportsmen, and non-hunting related activities also occur in these areas. And waterfowl hunting is a premium in some of these areas, like on Texoma. And most other species that's huntable in Oklahoma can be found. And our premier areas in the district are Lake Texoma and the Blue River. And on Lake Texoma we have premier striper fishing and trout fishing on the Blue seasonally. I'd like to invite everyone into the 4th District to enjoy the wonderful resources that we have available within the district.
As the adult on the hunt, or the mentor, the more things that you can think of through ahead of time to make that hunt enjoyable for the kid, the better experience he's going to have, and the more likely he's going to want to go again. And Alan, I know you've given a lot of thought to the actual gun. Tell me about that.
Well, you know, as location is key where you hunt, planning is key where you hunt, having the right firearm for that youth hunters is critical. You've got to have a gun that they're not afraid of. If they're afraid of the gun before they ever get in the field, your success goes way down. So you need to have a gun that they've shot on the practice range. You need to have one that fits their body type. You need to have one that they feel comfortable and they feel like they're going to have a good chance of success, harvesting some game with. I think the key thing here is the recoil pad. You want a recoil pad that'll cut the recoil even on lower gauges of shotguns by at least 50% if you can find one. This is a supercell recoil pad, and this is my son's youth gun where he killed his first turkey with it. And again, he was very comfortable with it. And with what you've got in your hands, the shooting sticks, I mean, that's another very, very critical item so that youth hunter has a rest. It can make a good, clean harvesting shot.
You bet. You know, we're going to go now turkey hunting. I'm sure you're excited about that.
Absolutely.
Trey and Robert, the next following spring, give it a try. And even though maybe the ending of the story isn't exactly like what we might want, you can definitely tell through these two that they've developed a bond that will last the rest of their lives.
Spring turkey season, 2012, I got to reconnect with a friend from high school that I had not seen in over 20 years. You getting to reconnect with him, and then having my son get to connect for the first time with his boy that's a year younger than Trey. You know, it was just a cool thing to be able to share our experiences and show them, you know, what we do. You know, in, 20 years, Trey and Weston, Rudy's son, hey, they're gonna have kids, If we teach them now, they can teach their kids later on. Trey and Weston, they'll have their kids out there, chasing whitetails, chasing turkeys. Trey has a little saying, frogs and snails, big whitetails, that's what little boys are made of. Scratch it back and forth. And again, keep like that. Where are the turkeys? In the woods?
This livestock service is in the woods in Ohio.
I'm fixing to throw Siri. Are you alive, Siri?
We were talking about you, not me.
Siri, you're crazy.
I respect you.
Do Sweet Brown for us.
When I woke up to go get my gold pot, and I thought somebody was barbecuing. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I can remember the first time I came up here. It's been a long time ago. There's some really cool stuff in here. Are you ready to see some pretty cool stuff? The wildlife department? You can already tell? Yeah. All right. Let's go over here and look at these deer and see if they're non-typical, typical. See how many turkeys are in there? Both deer, yep. Today's a pretty awesome day. Trey's mom and I have been saving up for a long time to get his lifetime license for him. And he has no idea we're getting it today. You wanna know why?
Yeah.
You're getting your lifetime license.
Oh,
Is that pretty cool?
yeah.
You've been wanting that, haven't you? Yep. You've been working hard for that, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yep. What's that coming out of your eyes? Come here, buddy. Yeah, we're gonna get that for you. All righty. You had no idea, did you? No. He's got little tears in his eyes. Here, look at the camera. Mwah, I love you.
My eyes are sweating.
Your eyes are sweating.
chickens.
What do you tell it? What do you say?
That's great. You know, like I've mentioned before, I've had the privilege of being in the blind and sitting there when a lot of kids have taken their first animal, and there's just no feeling like it on earth. You mentioned it before, and I would have to agree. I would probably trade every one of my hunts,
Absolutely.
solo hunts, to be able to relive some of those again. I know that it takes some time away from your own hunt, but in the long run, it's so worth it.
More people need to take advantage of these opportunities, and they don't. And a lot of times when you're out there, you're wondering, are you sure today is opening day of youth turkey season? Because you're not seeing a lot of people at the
Right.
convenience stores.
Right.
And so more people need to take advantage of the youth hunting opportunities because you're the first ones out there. Nobody's messed up anything or boogered up anything.
Yeah.
And you got the first shot at these turkeys even before the adults do. And you know what? That's fine with me.
Well, that's great. You know, it is with me too. If your kid is kind of thinking about wanting to get involved in the outdoors, there's no better way than to connect with us here at the Wildlife Department on Facebook and Twitter. Alan, thanks for letting me hang out with you in your trophy room today.
Thanks for coming.
You bet. And thank you for joining us as well. We'll see you right here next time on Outdoor Oklahoma.